All right, Cameron. Here's letter C, everyone.
First off, who's gonna play the flute solo? You play. Then do we have someone covering the alto sax part? Okay, cool. And then later on at 49, do we have someone covering the cornet part? Mark? Perfect. Okay. Percussion. What percussion do we have? Triangle. Do we have a snare?
You get one?
No, we don't have to worry about that time. It's okay. Those are sure. Cool. Yeah. Then at the very beginning, there's a timpani roll, but I'll just count through those two measures for the soloists.
Actually, why doesn't a tuba play it? Just sustain that D.
Can you do that? First few measures, it's just a sustain. A D.
A D.
Yeah.
D in the step.
So we'll go on ahead, because the snare's not until later. So what I want to do first is I just want to do the soloists, because the first from C up to the 2/4 is the first melody, and then the clarinet come in with the second melody, and I want everyone to hear that first. Okay? So we'll start at C, and we'll just do the alto and the flute. Right? And if I could get that sustained D, that would be nice. So you'll come in on one. Right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. You got too fast? No, it was one measure early. I gave you a measure early. Ready? Okay, so we'll do that one more time. Kind of get the rhythm under your fingers. It's a little hard with the clarinets, but that syncopation kind of rhythm.
Do you want to take the whole way through or just
It goes, yep, straight up through both melodies. So if you both need to play to kind of stagger breathe, that'll be okay, because it's a really long line. Let's do it again, okay? Stop there again. So everyone have that melody in their mind? The first one, bum 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 da 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 da. And then the second one, da 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 da. Okay. Now I want everyone to start playing. I mean, we have the soloist for the first few lines, but then we're gonna go on and we're gonna play all the way to F. See what it sounds like. Right? We're gonna try that. to the macro pulse because it's like the song kind of lines. So I'm going to go into this bigger pattern. So let's go back to the clarinet solo melody. Still a little issue with that syncopation. Okay. So let me just do you right there at 31. So right after that, right after the two four, the 4/4.
The first time or second time?
First time. 31. 5/4. Right? So just you two. Everyone else listen for this melody. It's one of the the two main themes that's kind of superimposed throughout the piece. Right? For the I'm just going to sing it for you really quickly. This is the measure 33. It seems like you're kind of holding that chord note a little bit too long, and so it's taking a little bit to get to that eighth note that's tied into the next measure. And kind of for the accents, make it a little bit lighter. So da 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 da.
You want space in between them a little bit?
Yeah, make it a little bit more, a little bit bouncier, and in measure 33 to get off of that chord note just a little bit faster, because you kind of, it's pushing it too long and you're kind of falling behind a little bit. We'll do it one more time. One more try. Great job. Now we're going to go and start at, let's just start back from C so we can get through those solos again, give everyone another chance to kind of hear it, and give everyone another chance to kind of build into it. It's a little bit harder because everyone kind of has these entrances. It doesn't, no one ever really comes in together up until kind of like at 51, 52 as we're building into that crescendo to the fortissimo. So let's start back at C so we get those solos and pay attention to your entrance and try to do the try. Ready? I want to hear just the brass at 56 at the crescendo, the fortissimo. You have these eighth notes, and you can listen to the woodwinds playing their they have these half notes with the big long lines because besides the two measures, you line up when they change notes. So, well, I want you to hear just the woodwinds first, and as they change notes, that's where you're also playing your eighth notes. So just the woodwinds. At 56. So after the, right with the macro pulse. But I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4.
You are out of time, Cameron.
Oh.
10 minutes. Violin family. Make sure we're good on those notes, please, for next time. Okay? Write them in if you need to. All right? We got to have those notes in there. All right. Cameron, how'd it go?
I had a lot of fun.
Did you? Are you lying to me?
No.
Okay. You did have fun?
Yeah.
Good. So how did you feel like it went? Like, what things do you feel like went well? What things do you feel like you might want to try differently next time?
I brought up some of my sticky notes.
Good.
Some of the stuff that I thought was going to happen came up. So that I was happy about that.
Good.
I felt like I talked too much.
What?
I felt like I talked too much. I'm not sure. Or maybe too quickly.
I don't think you talked too much. Do you guys think you talked too much? No, I don't think you did. Yay, go Cameron. All right, what else?
And I kind of focused on certain sections with certain instruments. I had them listen to certain parts. Yeah.
Is there anything that you did where you were like, ooh, that didn't really work the way I wanted it to work?
Kind of with the macro pulse.
Mhm.
I mean, I like the idea, but I guess it kind of felt a little weird.
It did, yeah. So look at the part there. Everybody look at your score where Cameron's going in the macro pulse in measure 56. Why is that tricky? It makes great sense to go in the macro pulse for the woodwinds, but why is it tricky? What makes it hard to do in the macro pulse? Who are you hanging out to dry?
Snare drum.
The snare drum and the brass, because they play bump, 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 bump. That's hard at the macro
Yeah,
pulse.
when I was kind of like practicing it, that's what I was trying to like do, and which what I thought was nice. I mean, when they do change notes, I mean, they go with the woodwinds.
Mm-hmm. Some of the time, only the
Yeah,
first
they have-
two.
Yeah, besides that. But.
Right. So what about conducting the rhythm? You guys remember that? Conducting the rhythm? Who can give me a brief review on what that is? This doesn't have to be Cameron. This can be ensemble. Conduct the rhythm. What does that mean? If I say that, let's conduct the rhythm at 56. What are you going to conduct?
The rhythm.
What pulse? Where are your rebounds big and where are they small?
They're big on the rhythm. And
Before the rhythm. So which rhythm? The quarter note rhythm or the half note rhythm?
quarter note.
If you can, that's tricky. So you can start by, if you can achieve the macro pulse you're looking to kind of conduct, if you conduct the half note rhythm, as in conduct the rhythm. For example, can we start in measure 56? One, two, ready, and. Violins, if you don't know your notes, don't play for now. It's a little too distracting. 56 again. 2, ready, and. See how I'm minimizing? Brass, let's get you in this time. 56. I'm going to conduct the brass rhythm this time. This is much harder, but it's still doable. 56. 1, 2, ready, and. So, beam, bum, 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 right, brass? Jeanette, are you playing first trombone when the camera's up here?
No, I don't have music for trombone.
But you have a score, right? We missed a really important part in measure 48.
Sorry.
That's okay. So make sure whoever comes up here, you cover their part if it's an important part. All right, let's go to the same spot again. Brass, you know what we're doing? You got it? This is everybody playing at 56. I'm conducting the brass rhythm, but everybody plays. And 1, 2, ready, and. Right? Makes sense? So you can still, it looks like I'm going, but I'm not moving so slowly, and I'm not hanging out that first note dry. You want to try it once? Here is 56. feel better about that? A little easier to follow? All right, it's good. How did the spot go before E, Cameron?
It could have been better.
Okay. Yeah, watch the tape and see what you think. Ensemble, what comments do you have for Cameron? Some things he did really, really well, and some things where maybe you would have him rethink for the next time he's up.
I think your speaking volume could be more.
I totally agree. Good comment, Aaron. Angela.
You also talk a little fast.
I thought you were very well informed though. Like even before you heard anything, you knew what you wanted. You knew what you wanted to hear. Almost preventative teaching.
Yeah, you did a really good job of kind of claiming your space. Like you walked up there and it was clear that you were the teacher. When you walked up there, you're like, okay, who's playing this? Who's playing that? Who's playing this? Can you do this? Can you? It was very good. I mean, you set the stage for them really, really well. Because if you come up there and are kind of like, okay, how are we going to do this? Then the students will walk all over you. So I thought you did that really well. Good comment, Matt. What else, everyone? That's a great comment, Lisa. So keep tapping, Cameron. This feels really good to you,
Yeah.
but you still need to work on this even more, especially with this part of this music. Okay, good. What else?
I like how you work with the solo parts to make sure that we have the syncopated rhythm, and you like just make sure we had it together. But you didn't like overwork us. So you weren't like practicing us, you were just helping us.
That was really good. I wasn't sure if you were gonna address that because it's a pretty subtle thing that they were dragging across the beat. Basically, the quarter note was dragging across the beat or the syncopation. You know what I mean? And you dove right in there and you said exactly what they needed to hear and you fixed it and they did better with it in the rehearsal with them. Did you notice when we put it back with everybody else how it flowed? Was it better?
Yeah, I felt like it was a little bit better.
It was a little bit better, but they still kind of reverted back to a little bit dragging across the beat. But it was better. Good. Anything else, guys? How about some constructive stuff for Cameron? Things that he might do differently or a little bit better next time. Anything else? Aside from you're speaking a little too quickly and you need to speak a little louder. Aside from those two things we've already heard. Anyone else? I want you all, when you're sitting in the ensemble, to think of one positive and one constructive criticism for every person that gets up there. Each time somebody's up there, one positive, one constructive, so that you have something to contribute to the conversation. Okay? Cameron, I thought you overall did very well. You were very well prepared. You had a clear idea in your head of what you wanted. I think you could be a little more specific, like leading into this thing at between like 4/4 and the downbeat of 56. Those little beep, bop, bop, beep, bop, bop, beep, bop, bop, needed some work. And I don't know if it was just a little overwhelming and you were like, oh, I don't want to get into that right now. I'm going to deal with some other stuff. But I thought that was actually one of the worst spots that they played. So even if you have a plan, everybody, make sure you're willing to stray from the plan if you hear something that needs to be done differently. Okay? All right. Aaron.
I really liked the macro pulse. It caught me off guard with what I was playing at first, but after I kind of heard what was going on, I thought, oh man, I would have never thought about that.
And that's something that I would probably not do until 3 weeks before the concert. I mean, I would get them like really established and listening and able to play without you conducting, and then you can kind of test the waters with the macro pulse there if you want to. Okay? Anybody else? Kaylee.
Like everyone was saying before, like you really get out there and you know exactly what you're doing. But I think you were also a little bit nervous, so it kind of held you back a little bit, like how you're talking really fast and stuff like that. So just make sure you're really about yourself.
And you're all going to be a little bit nervous when you get up there, and that's fine. That's normal. I mean, I'd rather have you get that out of your system now while you're still in school rather than when you're standing in front of junior high or high school students. So that's perfectly okay. I think there could have been more dynamic contrast led by you, Cameron, in the section from C to basically, I don't know, where the page turn happens in the score. So all those little forte accent things, like in the alto sax in the second system, third bar. Bum ba bum bum ba bum bee bum ba bum bum. If you conduct that, if you look right at him and conduct that, he'll play. All right. But you did a good job making it like the Lazy Susan. You were over here for a while, and you were over here for a while, and you were cueing people. Did you guys notice that? Making your way around the ensemble. So that was really, really good. Okay.